Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ESA Cup Season 10. Today it's me, Bozomax, accompanied by Onex. We're doing a nice little duo
Where
stream,
am I?
just the two of us. Well, you're right. Yeah, that's right. Well, yes. But yeah, just me, the two of us. We're going to bring a lovely stream to you guys because, of course, we're going to have a very, very good match, I think, today. It's going to be Entropy Gaming versus Minions. This is the lower bracket quarterfinal still. And
Yep.
well, you can see the brackets. Right now, we are in the lower bracket quarterfinals. Both of these teams already played two matches before. That's all teams, of course, started in the upper brackets. But Minions already dropped after the first round to the lower brackets, where Entropy, well, they progressed to the upper brackets semifinals, but then lost against MVG. And this is how both teams ended up here right now. Winner of this match will play against Sync. Well, potentially tomorrow. We're still figuring out the scheduling, and that will be the lower bracket semifinals. After which the winner of that plays to Ghost Army in the lower bracket finals, and then of course the winner of that match will play MVG in the grand finals on June 1st. So we have a beautiful, beautiful match coming up today, and I'm very excited. And well, I think the players and teams are pretty much already almost ready to go.
Yep.
So let's just speed things up a little bit here, and let's head into the map bands. So we actually get a get an idea, get to see where we will be going today on next. Well, looks like we are going to Clubhouse, followed by Lair. And if it happens that both of these two teams, well, win at least each of these maps, then we will have Consulate as a decider to decide once and for all which team will be worthy to stay in the competition and which team has to go home. And of course, it's not all just coming down to these three maps, it's also coming down to the rounds, because as all elimination matches in ESA Cup Season 10, it is unlimited overtime. So this is the ultimate test for these two teams. And well, I would say, Onyx, actually, if we were ready to go, we can just hop straight into Clubhouse here, and
Yep.
now we can actually
We
start.
we sure can. Lobby is ready, so you'll be. Oh, that is not Clubhouse on your
That's not
screens.
Clubhouse. Yeah, this is not the Clubhouse Siege X rework that we were
there we go.
expecting, but this is
This is Clubhouse.
this is more like it indeed. But yeah, Clubhouse, our very first match for today on X. I'm very excited to see how this will be going. It's Entropy's map pick, and well, let's just see what these first operator bands will be bringing us, what we can expect of this match. And yeah, let's just dive right into.
Yep. What the hell? The bands did not come through. So
That's interesting.
we'll just pause and do them in chat. Don't know what happened. The lobby was set up as always.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's interesting.
yeah. So we'll just do it in the Discord chat, which unfortunately the viewers won't be able to see, but we'll be able to announce to you guys.
Yeah, so in this
Uh,
case, the first band should have come out from. It's always the attacking side, right? We start the defending side.
defending side starts first, so MG minions need to ban first, uh, which will be just be waiting for players to. There comes the first ban of Maverick from MG minions on their attacking side.
Okay, so there's a Maverick band. I'm quickly taking notes of it as well, so we have a nice overview of what these bands are. But it's Maverick is, uh, yeah,
Mm, Unless the players want to rehost, which
yeah. Teams are
it
making a
might
fair
be.
comment that a rehost might just be the better and smarter option here to prevent any
Yeah.
unnecessary picks. So well, you know what? Let's just throw to a quick break screen here on next, and then we'll figure this out.
We're
And
back.
yes, we're back after a quick rehost. The whole bands, of course, reset. I mean, they didn't actually happen, and we just decided it was better to do a rehost rather than just doing them via chat. That, of course, could always bring the issue that an operator accidentally gets picks. That's not technically still available in the game, but in this case, the rehost was the smarter option. That's what we have done. We were quick, luckily, and now we can finally, ONX, start with this beautiful of a match.
Yep, finally. And the first ban comes out. We did announce it in team chat, and teams kind of banned them in team chat, but anyway,
Yeah.
Maverick gets banned out first, which makes sense. Clubhouse is quite a popular map with Maverick, especially to open these outside walls. Could be done quite efficiently. So banning him out will require these attackers to resort to Thatcher or going from below to
Hmm.
avoid the bandit track, or fight against the Cade Claw. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's expected. Monty, also really great operator here to especially basically clear out Catwalk is the only place where he is used, but that Catwalk position, one of the most powerful for both of the top floor sides basically. So getting him banned will make the job of the person playing Catwalk a bit easier. Cade, well, that kind of makes sense. Maverick gets banned. Cade just makes the job of attacking it a lot easier. And finally, Solis, which is kind of unusual
Hmm.
after her nerf. She hasn't really played that much anymore, but I mean, the top floor sides do have a lot of self-destruction on their floor, so that also makes kind of a bit more, kind of a bit of sense.
I'm just checking. Solace has been banned. Has Solace been banned before in this season of ESA Cup? Actually, I don't believe so. This is
Uh,
most
You're
likely.
you're the stat man here, so you
Well, yeah,
going
that's the
to
whole thing.
you'll
I was
bring this up. You
well, that's
usually give
all.
us the Wikipedia stats on the
Yeah, that's the whole
background.
thing. Wikipedia seems to be broken at the moment.
Oh no.
um, yeah, I mean, she's not showing as banned before, but she's also. Oh no, no, it's not fine. Okay, yeah, this is indeed the very first time for ESA season 10 that Solid has indeed been banned. Yeah, like I already said, we don't see her being banned that often anymore, or even rarely see her being played these days. We did see a bit of a play of her. I believe it was yesterday in a few cases. I mean, she can be quite strong, especially because she's not really like expected to be used as much anymore like she once was. So in a way, that could be her strength these days. But yeah, I mean, it's still somewhat of a good operator. There's still some good use for it, and it could also still ruin certain strategies or certain kind of plays. So yeah, if these teams want to ban her, that's all fine by me. They've decided to not want to face against her. Well, this way, oh, next we're starting off with the very first round. We can see Tournament already getting ready for a breach, of course, a Mute Jammer in the way, but also Bandit just a bit sleeping. He was
Oh.
ready to go for the Bandit trick, but was just sleeping a little bit too much. Did not respond in time, potentially maybe a bit of an audio bug, or just did not hear the sound properly. But that's already the wall opened up pretty quickly here from the side of Entropy.
Yeah, it's not the new CJX build, so maybe the sound is not really up to snuff. But the bandit did get to the other side, trying to bandit trick, but no, denied by Afla from the highway windows. That's the bandit down, and that's both breaches open. No bandit trick being successful, and now the defenders. I mean, they can still play from here. The breaches aren't very critical, but it makes the attacker's job a lot easier. But not when you run in like that. But
Oh, wow.
oh, Northy not being able to win out that gunfight. Now it's a 3v4 situation with a minute 40 left.
And nice advantage here for the side of Entropy. Of course, they are the offensive side, so they do need that time to work their way into the building. And well, the nice man advantage will make that a little bit more easier, a little bit more possible. They still have quite a bit of area to clear. However, they are mostly approaching here from the CCV side and doing a very horizontal clear. Really like clearing room by room, but with all the hard bridge utility they have brought, the soft bridge utility to open up those hatches and the bees and stuff. This is all helping them to clear the areas a lot faster. Already very quickly, aggressive drop happening. Immediately being punished. Rise
Mhm.
losing the fight against Xiaoyu. Interlude with a kill onto Shinji, but Tim with a kill there onto Interlude. Brings us with a 2 versus 2 situation, which is the last minute now approaching. And well, the attackers are getting close to the bomb sites, but also the defenders are playing very close as well. But with Jackie being very low on HP, any gunfights might get very tricky for him.
Yeah, only 3 drones left on the side of the attackers. It doesn't look like the remaining attackers have any drones left. Face checking a lot of these angles. That's gonna be really tough. There's a lot of positions that these defenders could play. They know about one, but they don't know about the second. This second attacker, the defender, I mean, comes critical, and now, oh, okay, getting that kill, and now it's a 1v2 situation. Tim cannot win it. Shayu with the 2 final kills in the first defending round when the things looked shaky, but MG Minions able to clear it across the line.
Yeah, indeed. And as we can see, one of the players has unfortunately left the lobby. Apparently, on the side of Entropy, there was a bit of a sound bug. I was actually expecting a sound bug to be present on the side of Minions, as the bandit did not respond properly to the termite charge being placed right next to him, which he was clearly ready for to stop. But apparently, the sound bug is happening on the side of Entropy Gaming. For this reason, the players now left the lobby and will be back very soon, hopefully. But this gives us a bit of a time here to on next to talk about this very first round. I went to the side of Minions, the defensive side, even though the side of Entropy had a pretty decent start. They opened up the wall fairly quickly. They established a man advantage at the 1 minute 30 mark ish. But still, yet Minions, even though also the Azami was pretty low in HP, they still managed to fight back and work things in their favor.
Yeah, honestly, Entropy were positioned really well throughout the attack, but I think a couple of these players just got a little antsy, couldn't just wait to get into position, get the intel that they needed, and yeah, just gifted these kills to the side of minions who were happy to take them, happy to win those gunfights. Especially that Grim just hot dropping the hatch into Logi without really much intel. He threw some bees down, but they weren't enough to cover gold. So that was a free kill for I think it was Tim on the Fenrir. So yeah, it's bit of a bit of a strange situation there, but the final player has rejoined, and in this round two, it did give both these teams actually somewhat of a timeout where they could
Mhm.
talk it out and yeah, maybe work on some of these mistakes for this upcoming round two, for which minions being CCTV, which is
Yeah.
really unexpected.
It's one of those bomb sites that you used to see so much of, like, back in the older days of Clubhouse. Like, after the first rework of the map, after the second rework of the map as well, Clubhouse was still for Clubhouse, CCTV in Clubhouse here was very, very popular. However, since, well, especially Master Bedroom has gained so much popularity and the basement, we tend to see, the bar also a little bit more, but this bomb site being picked before even going to the basement whatsoever, potentially one of the strongest bomb sites in the entire game. It's just such a big bunker. Well, yeah, interestingly, the side of minions is opting to go here first. I mean, if they win the basement, they might eventually need to go here or go to bar. So why not pick it first? Why not throw off your opponent a little bit here or just give yourself a bit of a boost? But yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice here with this bomb site already being picked this early. You can also see there's quite a bit of a presence from the defenders right below the bomb site as well. So they're definitely going to try to hold that area and keep it out of the hands of the attackers, which can easily use it to deny those bandits and mute jammers from below as well. But yeah, of course, Thatcher is in play. He's not being picked, so it will be a bit harder to open up the wall, especially as the Maverick was banned. And this way, they need to figure out a way to deal with those bandit charges. Otherwise, it's going to be extremely difficult for the Ace here to do his job.
Yeah, not even any EMPs on the side of the attackers. Oh,
Oh,
that's what they're doing. They're doing
yeah.
this little trick, and you can't really do anything about that.
No, there's no way to deal with it whatsoever. Like, yes, it cost them
Yeah.
a shield, it cost them an ace charge. So there's a lot of utility waste, but in the end, the whole is what matters. They get a line
Oh,
of sight, they get a perfect angle onto Nordy, take him out, but then Jackie with a nice little refractor onto the ace. That's an ace loss as well. But at least the attackers, they have made their opening. They have got a nice line of sight into the bomb side. They have dealt with the first operator. It's Afladung with a kill
oh
onto Jackie,
no.
and Jackie with a kill onto Bankers through the barbed wire. We don't see that every day. And now next, with 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining, it's the 3 versus 3.
Yeah, through now as David gets another kill onto the Blackbeard. That would have been the spearhead for this attack, but now he is gone. And Afla, together with Shinji, need to do something here. They still have quite a bit of utility. The Kabuto has one firebolt and two smoke, so anything is possible, but Nate being thrown out does some damage to Shayu, but these defenders are sticking pretty solid here, just waiting for something to happen. The clock is working for them, so they don't need to really move around. There's a C4 on the side, and Shinji kind of desperate here, trying to vault into the radio window. Could not get anything done. It's a 1v3 with Afla on the Cap Tau. Does down one, but cannot
Oh,
even confirm it. Interlude finished it off in another round to the side of MG Minions. And that attack just fell apart with that first opening. Losing Ace before he can really breach the fully the wall.
yeah.
That was a big yeah, that was a big loss. And in the 3-3 situation, losing the Blackbeard as well. That I think that was just the final nail in the coffin.
Yeah, definitely the side here of Entropy Gaming, the offensive side, definitely struggling so far. It's not per se that Minions is doing so incredibly well. I mean, they're doing good, don't get me wrong. But I just feel like Entropy is struggling a little bit here. But of course, it's only the second round. They still have plenty of chances here to work things around. And well, most maps in Siege are defensive favorite as well. So Minions definitely in a quite favorable position. They had the chance to choose where to start on this map, and they chose to go for the defense. So getting those first two rounds on the board is somewhat expected, somewhat understandable. But now that we are approaching with the third round, it would be a good moment for Entropy to step things up a little bit and start scoring some points very soon. However, the big problem, of course, for the third round is that we are now going to somewhat of the strongest bomb site on the map, which is the basement, the one that Minions were really kept for the third round as the last option to go to. But so far, they have been doing fine. Now they must go here, as the other choice would have been Bar. And I'm very curious to see how Entropy Gaming will be dealing with this. Of course, we do see the Hibana coming out, the master of the hedges, the best option to really breach any of the hedges on this map. But this is then also a company likely no, it's actually not a single additional hard breacher whatsoever. So Hibana will be the one and only hard breacher, which is a bit of a weakness. If they lose her, they will be very vulnerable. But let's see how this goes. So next.
And first gunfight already kind of happening. Afla going into strip and encountering these castle barricades. There's a really strong hold here onto bar. A bit of an SSG strategy here, as might call it. But they this is going to be tough to clear out, especially with a joke playing upstairs, but this unreinforced wall will give him a bit of havoc with three people trying to clear him out. Yep, not, he tries to run away, but he can't, and instantly falls himself. Really good roam clear, as David himself is forced downstairs as well. Shayu trying to claim something, but can't.
Oh wow.
Northy as well. It's a 5v2, and the defense completely falls apart here.
Yeah, this is a complete turnaround from the side of Entropy, doing so much better, finding themselves in a 5 versus 2 within the first minute and 10 seconds already. That's great work here done from the side of Entropy. However, they shouldn't get too confident. We have seen before how they had man advantages, not this big of an advantage, but they had advantages, and then still minions managed to work it around, which they definitely are capable of. But a 5 versus 2 should be good for Entropy, especially as Afladu gets another kill onto Shayu and Shinji with the final kill onto David Speckham, and with a flawless run. What a way to break the 2 round win streak of Minions for your first points, putting the score on 1-2 with Entropy finally fighting back.
Definitely a bit of a statement round here, as Entropy kind of stays to MG Minions. We're still a team that can fight back, especially on basement, considered by many one of the stronger sites. And with that roam clear, they definitely caught MG Minions off guard. But that round is past them, and now MG Minions going back to bedroom, which they have shown that they can defend very well, and Entropy, they do get another try, another crack at it. Let's see if they can adapt. Let's see if they can do something differently this time around.
Yeah, we're going back to the very first bomb site where Minions played. So, like in a way, it started well for both teams. Entropy Gaming, they managed to get some opening kills, and they managed to work their way into the building. At some point, they even had a 3 versus 2 man advantage, like a nice situation. Just once it really came down to fighting and entering the bomb site, that's where Minions had the better hands, had the better positioning, and just won the gunfights overall. So with just a bit of an improvement here from the side of Entropy Gaming, just doing a little bit better, they might be successful on winning this bomb site for the second attempt. Also, of course, we did see well, one of the things that also Minions could improve, of course, we did see that Bandit being ready to penetrate the wall. Didn't succeed in it, didn't even respond to it in time. Hopefully this time he does get a bit of a better chance, as we can see him sitting by that wall. And the tournament already being on the way. But meanwhile, also Jackie getting the first kill onto Ryzen. Afla with a kill onto Jackie. That's a refrag. And that's the both the Sledge and the Azami lost. And once
Again?
again, the bandit trick not successful.
Yeah, David, you might want to turn up the game sound, because that was yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, as the other wall also gets opened by that same ace plus
Yeah.
Osa trick. And yeah, zero
Ah,
bandit tricks being successful. He does place his final batteries on this wall. If they open up that bathroom wall, that could cause some trouble, but no his charges left, so that might as well be impossible. And it's a
yeah.
4v4 situation inside, very similar to what happened last time, but
Oh,
Afla gets another kill, and now it's a man advantage for the side of the attackers with MG minions. Still not giving up much map control, as nearly another kill into Shinji, as he was trying to throw a nade. If MG minions can keep catching these attacking players off guard, that might cause some trouble. Also, what might cause some trouble is only 2 drones left on the side of the attack.
That's not much intel there to get it from the attacking side. However, luckily they have established an even better man advantage as they are now finding themselves in a 4 versus 2. However, the one thing that we need to keep an eye on is that timer, as we're now approaching the last minute very soon. The timer will start ticking a little bit more here for the attackers, and they will need to be a little bit more aggressive and move their way into the bomb sites. The mute force downstairs, dropping down the hatch, throwing a C4
Oh,
below,
no way.
might just perfectly catch any attacks, but no, unfortunately doesn't. Meanwhile, his teammate dies in the bomb site. Attackers are fully aware that they have full site control with not a single defender to worry about. The Alex Nordy on the mute tries to find the attacker from below. He has a shotgun. He can do the self-destruction, but Shinji knows exactly where Alex is playing, finds the kill, and secures the second round in a row for Entropy Gaming and puts the score on an equal to 2.
Yep, and it really looks like those first two rounds were kind of warm-up rounds for Entropy Gaming, as they seem to have an answer for everything that MG Minions try to throw at them. And yeah, it's now the ball is now in MG Minions' court to try and do something. They again go for bedroom and gym, and might try to do something different this time. Let's see if David can perform a bandit trick a third time. Maybe third time is really the charm, because yeah, keeping those walls closed would allow a lot more flexibility for the defenders, and would require the attacking side of Entropy Gaming to problem solve a bit more, because right now, I mean, they just place the thermite charger on the wall, and that's it. They open the wall. They don't even need to go below.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. It looks like Minions is probably going to attempt to better trick that wall one more time, given the lineup that they have brought and the operators. Uh, I would love to see a successful bandit trick at least one time. I'm really confused what's happening there. Like you say, it might be the sound cues that are just not properly working for some reason, or the player might just need to turn up his volume. But yeah, here we'll see it again happening very soon. Meanwhile, also Blackbeard already trying to put some pressure here onto Garage and Catwalk. We can see that the Azami is playing there, trying to hold her stance, trying to hold back the attackers as long as possible. Twitch turn already going up, but unfortunately already getting lost in the process. But Rice,
He did it.
after perfect distraction down to the Zami, that's the first kill already from the side of Entropy. A beautiful opening kill, which, well, especially with the catwalk control, no bandit tricking once again. This time, not because of bandits not hearing the charges, but just because he cannot stay there safely anymore.
He did bandit trick one charge. That means Thermite has zero charges left, and that's all of the
Oh,
Heartbeat gone for them. That might spell a bit of trouble for them, as some of these walls could be quite critical. But they are going from this construction site, so that should allow the defenders to have a bit more breathing room in sight with that main wall remaining closed. Still, 4v5 advantage to the attacking side in a really aggressive position for Alex Northy. Tries to catch Afla off guard, but Afla is fully aware and careful of this possibility.
now, this 5 versus 4 attackers are getting closer and closer to the bomb site. This is one of the best attacks of Entropy that I'm seeing so far on this bomb site, as they are already so close to the bomb site, so close to their goal, with still so much time remaining. Just over half of the round was still remaining when they approached basically the doorstep of the bomb site. From here, they have plenty of time to still gather some information. They have the drones this time, so they can figure out where those defenders are playing, do some of the setup,
Oh,
pick some kills off from the outside. Change it with a beautiful double kill onto Shadu and interludes, but also Bankus losing his life a little bit earlier on. And now we're finding ourselves with a 4 versus 2 situation in the favor of the offensive side. But with Alex getting a kill onto Rise, it's now 3 versus 2.
yeah, but the attackers have made their way into sight here, and this could be a bit of trouble here as C4 is prepped for Davis Beckham in from below. Will he have enough information to throw it out and be successful? Yes, he does. Takes out the Blackbeard, and that makes it suddenly very much winnable for the side of the attackers. That Blackbeard could have caused a lot of trouble, but he's gone, and now Tar trying to plant here. It's a 1v2 situation basically, as Afla needs to cover. He's missed some shots on David, but oh, David doesn't miss, and Tam is down, and now that's gonna be a win for MG Minions. Really well done by them to secure this round when Entropy looked like the force that would win the round.
Yeah, and now we're heading to a 2 for 3 score. This is exactly how I'm hoping matches, like especially in this stage of the competition, to go really, really nice and like very equal, very tense. 2 3 score. This could definitely go to 3-3, which is a beautiful split score. This could also go to 2-4, which is a very normal split score. But so far, it really shows that these two teams are well, really well matched against each other. Both are really good teams with a good history, with a good reputation, and both these two teams definitely deserve their spots even further in the competition. But of course, only one of these can stay. But like we already said earlier on X, this is the ultimate test for these two teams. 3 maps, or at least a BO3, and unlimited overtime. So in the end, only the best can make it through, and they will need to fight for it.
Yeah, these two teams are one. I mean, they are kind of behemoths in the console scene. So yeah, whatever whoever makes through, it's gonna be quite a close game. And Clubhouse, I mean, we didn't talk about it, but it's one of those maps that really rewards those fundamentals, the aim and team play. It's really a map that it's all this is what map is all about. So we would expect both these teams to have a bit of an equal footing on here, though some more strategy related objectives will be tested in the next map, especially Lair, which is going to be map 2. But we still need to get there. Still, only the first half of this. Interesting to see Sledge with impact nades, but first pick going to Joke, playing on Catwalk. That's Blackbeard gone again. Huge entry coming out from Joke on Catwalk.
Yeah, there's a nice opening kill here from the defensive side, which is definitely going to work in their favor. And it's only going to get even better as Bankers then
Oh,
also loses his life, unfortunately, with a 3 versus 5 is now continuing. And well, the defensive side did good as well by bringing Tibero, the bender tricking, the keeping the wall closed, something that definitely did not work for them very well so far. But with that Tibero, things are looking a lot better. And so far, the wall has stayed closed. One ace charge remaining, no secondary harbor utility. So opening the wall is going to be extremely difficult, and especially in 3 versus 5. Well, you need it all the time that you can use, and well, it's going to be very tricky for them.
oh. Now in the top position choke. Still fighting with Afla outside garage. He's all alone here, trying to get the Azami and finally gets the down. But there's interlude to assist him. Cannot get the kill. But still, Catwalk is not surrendered yet. And no utility available to clear this person out. Attackers will need to rely on team play. Will need to rely on trying to clear him out. But it's going to be really difficult, especially with these verts, and especially with Afla going down 2v4 now as Rice is below 1v3 now as Tom. Complete opposite side going through construction, but his position is down, and now 50 seconds left. C4's coming out, and yeah, going to be tough for him to win this.
And it's going to be extremely difficult, of course. 3 defenders left standing, all eyes focused on him. They know exactly where he's coming from. And yeah, of course, it will be extremely difficult. If we can just pick up at least 1 kill here from construction, it will definitely increase his chances. But the members of Minions are playing extremely smart, playing extremely safe. They are just waiting it out. They're not taking any unnecessary risk, because a 1v2 can easily be turned into 1v1 as well. And yeah, in this case, the timer just continues ticking. Ace is not finding a single kill. He gets damaged a little bit in the process. He gets a bit taunted. He gets a bit tricked. But he had a Xiaoyu with that final kill there onto the Entropy member. And this way, it's going to be another round here for the side of MG Minions, putting the score on 2-4, with which we will have the role swap happening right now. And of course, it means that Minions will now be playing as the offensive side and Entropy gaming on the defense.
We're just talking about how this map is about fundamentals, about team play, and Entropy Gaming did not demonstrate that team play very well when clearing out that catwalk. They got the breach on the breach on that lower garage. They got the right operators there, but just dying one by one, trying to clear out that catwalk player. I mean, was really well done by Joke playing on catwalk, getting those picks, but yeah, why peek through this one door when you have the breach from lower garage, where you can easily go down there, throw your capital utility from there, and have 2 players outside. Ideally, not die before that execute comes along. But what's done, it's done. Entropy now on the defense. It is a defender-sided map, of course, as you said. So, still, 2-4 split, not bad. They can still, they can very well still close this out in regulation even.
Yeah, it's a very normal split score. The defense had a favorable position, but now that the favorable position has gone to Entropy and they're down 2 points compared to the opponent. So they have a bit of a work to do if they want to bring this back to an equal score of a 4-4, potentially a 5-5, like however long it's going to take. But right now, they're still in a pretty decent position. It's really up to them to prove how well they will do in the defense, but with the Vigil already dying very early on, and also Duck losing quite a bit of HP, of course, which he can heal himself for, things are not starting off well. Then we also see a Blitz rushing into the bomb site, unfortunately getting found by Bankers though, so that's a rush stopped just in time. Alpha with a kill into Interlude, and right now it's a 4 versus 3. The favorite position the minions acquired in the beginning of the round by taking out the Vigil has kind of been lost, and they have also kind of lost the momentum with the rush. So now they're left with only 3 men standing against 4 defenders who are all on edge. They know exactly what's going on here. They know what to expect, and the minion members, well, they kind of need to regroup, rethink the strategy, and find out a new way on how they can counter the side of Entropy.
And again, we're seeing some lack of team play coming out from the attacking side. It's usually you see this this rush be performed from actually all of the team members. And instead, what David was doing, just diverting some attention onto him doing these birds, but the rest of the team was nowhere. Joke was not with the team, not there to assist the blitz of Alex Northy, and Interlude was also quite a bit behind. So Alex Northy going a bit too fast for his team to keep up. It ends up with him dying and his teammate trying to trade him dying as well. But yeah, still, 4v3 situation is not terrible, especially with Kitchen Hatch being opened up and Verts still able to be played by the attackers. Will make the life of these vendors quite a bit tricky. And yeah, still, we cannot discount Entropy Minions attack here as Shinji through the Verts, but no!
Yeah, it's a very unfortunate.
Oh, you see him now.
Yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, a very unfortunate miss, but in the end, it's corrected just in time and getting the kill there, bringing things back to an equal 3 versus 3. Jackie with another kill there onto Bankus, and another one, the second one in a row for Tim. Now it's all coming down to Afla, who is left in a 1 versus 3, turns it into 1 versus 2 by stopping that player in his killing spree, the Ash. And now he's in the 1 versus 2, like I said. 30 seconds remaining. Attackers seem to know where he is, of course, as he just got a kill onto their opponent. The diffuser now finally enhanced, so Mias could go for the plants, with Shayu going for the cover. But the C4 is being thrown, could technically take out both, but no, it doesn't do enough damage. Defenders ran over, attackers ran away just in time to minimize the damage, and they can resume their plants. Mozzie, of course, knows what's going on. He knows what the player on the cover is playing, and that the diffuser is happening. But in the end, Shayu gets that final kill and secures the very first offensive round here on the side of Minions, putting the score on a 2-5.
Yeah, really nice lure coming out from the Ash. I think it was Joke. Going down blue, getting those few crucial picks inside, it's pronounced Jeek.
Yes.
It's just informed. Yeah, Jeek. Going down blue stairs, just opened up the side completely and allowed the execute to happen. Even despite losing those 2 attacking members, MG Minions able to attack the site very, very well. And so far, both teams struggling to defend the basement side, which usually is considered one of the strongest ones. But anyway, the Entropy Gaming deciding to go bedroom and will try to replicate the success that MG Minions had on this side. And maybe, just maybe, him himself can bend the trick successfully.
Yeah, that would be very desired to see some successful tricking happening for once. But yeah, so far, the first offensive round for Minions going in their favor. Once again, establishing a nice little lead here over their opponent with 3 rounds difference, only being 1 round away from the map point, and well, 2 from the from actually winning this very first map of the evening. But of course, Entropy is going to do everything in their power to stop that from happening. Well, we're seeing some interesting Hibana interaction happening potentially here. Hibana all the way back in spawn, shooting her pellets from a very long distance. Of course, it's something that Hibana is very capable of, but the Mew Jammers are being a problem, however, of course. Those Mew Jammers will stop that. Alex? That's not what we meant by successful bandit tricking, but sure, okay. Well, Alex, somehow killing himself with his own thermite shark. I'm completely confused of what actually happened there. We didn't get to see it, but that's of course a very big loss here for a set of minions. Yes, they have opened up the wall, so thermite kind of did his job, but of course took one charge to the grave, and there's an ace charge, so there's definitely some potential here for the set of minions. But as Bankus then gets a kill there onto Jake, it's yeah, it's not looking too good for the set of minions.
Yeah, I think Alex Northy tried to run into the breach and take the map control a bit faster, but yeah, I mean, you're not really in a rush. You can take your time, but there is one more kill. Interlude takes out Afla despite the shotgun being played close range. He is though on very low, only 1 HP left for him, so it's a man disadvantage for MG minions. But we've seen them perform miracles in similar situations on basement. Can they do it again on another side? That's gonna be tough. 4v2,
Ooh.
3v2 though. Immediately Shinji swinging there a little bit, and now David, Twitter with Shayu need to clutch this out. It's a new
Yeah.
situation. It's not over just yet. There's still some utility in pocket. Shayu having those flashes could afford them a bit more leeway, and that flourish zone as well being played, opening up the hatch, but electing instead to go to the highway windows. Now,
Yeah,
David in con and highway. These are pretty good positions.
Oh,
Ooh, what a
wow.
shot!
Yeah, definitely here the side of minions in a bit more of a favorable position than before. A 2 versus 2 with just 40 seconds remaining. They're basically on the doorstep of the bomb site, ready to make an entry. One coming from a door, one from a window most likely, while the other two defenders are waiting inside. Drone coming out to just get a bit of information, just finding out where those defenders are playing. C4 being thrown, but unfortunately not hitting its mark, and therefore not doing any damage whatsoever. Flashbangs coming out, flashbangs hitting the target, but Tim with the kill there onto Shayu. David with a kill onto Rise. It's a 1 versus 1 right now. Shot being hit, and he gets the headshot onto the bandits in Jim. And this way, the second side of minions, they just keep on winning. They already established the very first, match point of a map point here for the very first map. And there's only one round away from securing their opponent's map pick. While, of course, Entropy needs to win 4 rounds in a row without losing a single if they still want to have a chance to win their own map pick in overtime.
David there coming in huge with that beautiful shots and beautiful clutch there. It was a 1v2. And yeah, wow. Yeah, Clutch is how it's supposed to see on match point, and a 6-2 lead for MG Minions. Entropy Gaming needs to win 4 rounds in a row if they want even a chance at winning this first map. This is gonna be tough, but still, they're giving another shot to bedroom. I'm gonna try it out. Throwing out some operators. The Rudy coming out from Rice here is an interesting decision. We'll see how she will impact here. Of course, her Renegades functioning a bit like those Jaegerias we saw last round. Yeah, probably maybe a bit of a switch up there, but
Yeah.
2-6 lead still gonna be tough to.
Yeah, it's a great position for minions to be in, like 4 points ahead of the opponent already on match points. So having a bit of an opportunity, well, to take some risks. Losing a round doesn't mean anything. There's nothing too much to worry about, of course. Like only if they start losing 2 or 3 rounds, really. But for now, minions in a very comfortable position. They don't need to worry too much. I can imagine they're feeling very good about their position, and from here on, it can only get much better. Right now, they are playing on the offensive course, so they are still the lesser side here. Should still favor the side of Entropy, so I will not be surprised if Entropy will at least win 1 or 2 more defensive rounds here. And it's really coming down to how these two teams will play it out. Attackers once again already being fairly quick on securing some gun control here, already back in the CCTV and cash. Walls being opened up, a breach charge just coming out to deal with those castle barricades, but also hit explosive drones from the floors going up to find even more utility and destroy it, and to make the entry of the attacking side even easier.
Yeah, that drone doing a whole marathon to end up on main stairs. But Shayu, interestingly enough, with the DMR, he was playing the rifle last time, but evidently not enough damage for him. Taking DMR, which, I mean, is pretty strong DMR, so can't blame him there. But the attackers now, 5 people still standing, and they have taken the same map control they had last round with only 2 players left. So really good position coming out from the side of MG Minions as the first counterfight come out after taking a bit of damage into his elbow. Now, making their way outside, and Khan, really good one-sided push here coming out from the side of MG Minions, but I remember them last time, maybe they'll work them this time around. Afla is just allowed to go around, I mean, uncontested in Logi. First pick comes out from Rise with the DMR, takes out the Ash interlude, not being very aware of the angles he's going to have to. The second breach being opened up by David, and some damage being exchanged. These windows benefiting the attackers a lot more than the defenders, a lot more than the attackers. But speaking of, 3v2 situation,
Oh no.
kills flying left and right.
Yeah, this is a very tricky situation. Both defenders being fairly low on HP. Defuse already happening there from Alex. It's a 2 versus 2. Likely to be post-plan situation. Yes, it is. 40 seconds for the defenders to retake their own bomb site and stop the attackers from defending that diffuser. It's very possible. Also, Alex being pretty low on HP. One bullet will easily take him out, but he has made his way outside. A very strong position for him to be in as an attacker. The other player playing in the bathrooms gets a kill, but then gets taken up by Rise, and now it's a 1 versus 1 situation. 25 seconds remaining and ticking for the defender to find out where Alex is playing, to take him out and get it to the diffuser to go for the defuse. But of course, he knows exactly that Alex is playing outside, that this is almost an unwinnable situation. He either needs to lock on the diffuser, which is impossible because of the reinforcements, and this way he's forced to go for the defuse. Alex ready to take the kill and win this match for him and his team.
Yeah, really tough post plan here happening, and yeah, really well done by MG Minions. The attacks were just, I mean, simply they're a lot better than Entropy's attacks. Being able to win out those tougher sites a lot more efficiently, and a couple of hero plays coming out from the side of MG Minions won them that first map. And honestly, it had nothing much to say. It's Clubhouse. There was fundamentals, and Entropy's fundamentals were just not there today.
Yeah, I must say this first map was a lot more one-sided than I was expecting from these two teams. First of all, of course, this was Entropy map split, so you were expecting more from them. Yes, they had to start on the offense, which wasn't their favorable side, but the defense wasn't looking much better either, as they did not win a single round there whatsoever. Very, well, unfortunate first map here for Entropy. A very good map, very fortunate map for the side of Minions. Which also makes me a lot more curious for what the second map is going to bring us, which is going to be Lair. Well, next, because we had a bit of a rough start and a bit of a short introduction before we go to break, I kind of want to take a look at our predictions, something that we did not have a chance to look at before. I'm actually kind of curious, like, what is the production team expecting for this match? What is the community expecting from this match? I believe they're loading up right below us right now. Well, those are the map bans. Also, a good one to quickly bring up again to quickly remind our viewers for the ones who joined me late. But here you can see actually 60% favored from the community for the side of Entropy, which is very interesting. But then from the production, we can see that again, there's a majority there from the side of Entropy, but there's also a few people there voting for Minions. I believe it was 2 or 3 of us quickly versus 5 for the side of Entropy. So definitely the majority of the people favoring Entropy. Well, that's not exactly what we saw on this first map, but we know very well how maps can go to the opponent's map pick and how things can go very differently. So I hope that Entropy is able to use this break to quickly put their heads together, figure out a way to be smarter and stronger than Minions is on the map of there. So we can hopefully see that third map as well. Well, for now on. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with the second map of today. Right now, it's going to be Lair. After we previously went to the map of Clubhouse, which was Entropy's map pick. But surprisingly, it was Minions being the one victorious with a 7-2 score on their opponent's map pick. Well, right now we're going to Lair. New map, new chances, a new start for both the two teams. Of course, Minions in a much more favorable position as they have already acquired the very first map points, as you can see, the box from there right next to their logo. Oh, hoping right now, of course, that Entropy can provide a bit more resistance so they hopefully can fight back and potentially even bring us to the third map. Because, of course, that's what we'd like to see at this stage in the competition. But at the same time, it will be a beautiful accomplishment from Minions if they win this map as well. Well, only time can tell. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. And Lair, I mean, for Entropy's sake, Lair is a very different map from Clubhouse.
Yeah.
It's big, it's new. There's a lot of strat possibilities, a lot of different stuff you can play. But what's not changing from map one are the bans. They seem to be exactly the same as
Yeah.
what has been happening last time. Monty and Maverick. I mean, both of them are can be quite strong, but I fail to see how Maverick is as strong on layer as he was on Clubhouse. But yeah, anyway, okay,
Oh wow.
exactly the same ends. Soul
Oh,
is
are
being
we
banned
gonna
out
see?
again.
Yeah, we're gonna see Kaid as well then as the final one.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
That'll be.
Kaid is always a worthwhile
Yeah.
ban, worthwhile guy to ban. I mean, just 1 second left, and
Oh.
nope, Clash.
Yeah.
It does make sense. Clash is quite strong on this map, especially on top floor. She can be a royal pain to clear out and deal with. So both those shield operators being banned out, and yeah, player coming up, and just before this actually happens, I'm gonna do a bit of a shameless plug here for ESA Cup. Me and Bozmax,
Mm-hmm.
only two of us
Yep.
doing this cast here. So if you're screaming at your screen right now from wherever you're watching, saying like, "Boo, this caster sucks," or "Boo, this observer sucks," hey, want to try it out yourself? I mean, we're always looking for casters, always looking for observers, producers. So if you want, head over to our Discord. I believe do what did they do actually, Buzzmax? You're the I
Sorry.
think production head. What do they want to know? What did they do? Yeah. There we go. Yeah.
It's definitely going well. I mean, of course, our next is also the one producing the stream and observing the stream, so his mind is very occupied, and therefore he cannot always find
Yeah.
the words that he's looking for. But yeah, of course, like we're always looking for additional stuff, like he's trying to say. Just head out
Yeah.
to the ESA server. You can always try to find me there. I'm the production manager, Bozamux. Just reach out to me if you're interested in joining the production team, which can either be as a caster or as a producer or as an observer. There's many ways to join the team. Let me know if you're interested.
Yep. As the action phase has come to start again, Flores being played with Afla on the dog being a bit of a roamer here, and Northy on the shield. Blitz being played, and I mean, with the Clash band, I think there's going to be a prevalence of these shields being played, especially Blitz. He can be quite a menace against some of these teams. But yeah, there's smoke, there's Echo being played, which can be quite a bit of a counter. It does seem that the side of MG Minions are going for a bit of a meeting and main attack, for which Bliss is quite useful. Already encountering some resistance, Afla shooting the feed of that Blitz, doing a lot of damage. Alex Nori on 1 HP, 1 bullet will be enough to take him down. As Shinji on the Echo, taking a bit of a suicide position here. You should see him being played and taken out by Joe, but or Jake, and but still, he's left on 1 HP. And when a minute 30, the attackers of MG Minions are already setting up to execute a train plan.
Oh, wow. Yeah, things definitely not starting well for Entropy. A 3 versus 5 situation. Yes, there's 2 attackers fairly low on HP. Will be easily taken out by a smoke canister, explosion, or whatsoever. After would have killed out onto Shayu, making this look a little bit better for Entropy, but then Jake with an immediate response, finding Bankus and bringing us to 2 versus 4. Tim with a kill there onto for Jake. Interlude with a kill into Afla, and right now it's all coming down to the mirror. And this 1 versus 2 finds Interlude. Alex going for the plans with David on the cover, and as the diffuser finally goes down, the time when Essel's working against the defensive side where the mirror needs to find those 2 attacking players. Of course, one of them is a shield, which makes things even more complicated. Yes, the shield player is very low. Mirror still has a C4 as well, so there's still plenty of opportunity here, which needs to be very careful. Finds the kill onto David, gets flashed by the flash of but he gets the injure, he gets the quad kill, and there's still plenty of time to go for the defuse here. This is exactly what Entropy needs on the map pick of Minions after being down a map. A beautiful start of the very first round here of this map. A good way to start it, and hopefully the boost of morale, the boost of momentum that they need to hopefully get enough rounds here on the board to stand an actual chance here. As of course, Lair is a very difficult map to play on. And Minions picked it for a very good reason. It's one of their best maps, or at least not per se the best, but Minions is very comfortable playing on this map. They play it regularly, and yeah, a good start is exactly what Entropy needs in this case.
Yeah, and I did mention hero plays being a big factor in Entropy Venus' win last game. That was a hero play coming out from Entropy.
Oh, for sure.
The clutch of 1v2, especially with against the shield, could have been really tough. But that early damage that Alex Nori took, that was the deciding factor for him getting downed from a bit of a pea shooter that Mira has. So yeah, just really marginal stuff deciding that round. But that means they did win that top floor site. And top floor, for defense, widely considered as the best site on this map. Now they go downstairs. Me personally, I hate playing the downstairs side. It's so hard to defend. But with a heavy roam, it's gonna require MG minions to be really good with their roam clear out these roamers efficiently so they have time to establish verts, and if the verts are established and they play them well enough, well, that might be currents for defense. But that's all to be decided. Now, making their way into the building, they need to clear out Bankus and clear out Rise, the two roamers.
Yeah, we can already see plenty of drones on the way from the side of Minions. Of course, they could have decided to bring the Jackal on the board, which would have been the perfect operator to find those roamers, but the drones will do just fine. Of course, the Vigil will make that a little bit more tricky with his ability. And he can still be found, he can still be drones. First drones coming out here. They know the position of these two defenders playing here on the ground floor. The attackers slowly closing in, trying to find a way to cut them off from the rotation back to the basement, and trying to find a way to take them out as early as possible. So the attackers can start focusing on the bomb side below. So far, the defenders doing actually doing an excellent job of staying alive long enough and also doing damage there onto Interlude. A great start here for the defense. In the end, David Speckham is the one to finally break the roam strategy here from the side of Entropy, as Shayuna also gets a killer onto Avla. And right now, it's a 3 versus 5 in the favor of Minions once again.
Actually enough, the opening pick was the post that was playing, the only one playing inside. So that's interesting to see, but that forces these players to try to come back to site. And oh, Jake caught napping by Bankus, gets the kill, but the fuse is being planted. Wow. Rise on the opposite side of the map, but is there enough cover? Oh, he runs into the diffuser. Yes, the Blackbeard, but the diffuser is planted. It's a 1v3 situation with verts established. It's a really tough position for Rise, getting flanked from all these angles. So tough to win this out. Wow. Yeah, and he can't do it. MG Minions showcase why this fight is so difficult to defend. There's just so many avenues for these attackers to go these defenders from. It's sometimes really hard to keep up, and Entropy not able to keep up, and losing their man advantage, losing these opening picks, and ultimately losing it around. They do decide to run it back, and they will decide to try and maybe play something different with Rise on the Ella, especially directly trying to counter that Blackbeard of Alex Northy.
Yeah, now 1-1 score. Again, a very nice score to start of this map with Entropy having a very, good round on the first one. It was a bit close and tricky, potentially a bit of luck involved as well, but it was still a good round from them. But the Minions really showing their dominance in that second round, really showing what they're made of and why they have selected this map. A great comeback there from Minions as well. We're now going for that second defense, like you said. Ella being one of the interesting operators being brought up. We don't see her that often anymore, but she can still be quite strong. I mean, if you read the patch notes, there apparently is a bit of an issue with the Griswold mine, not really having the explosion radius that you would expect. I believe it's slightly bigger than the circle actually shows it is, but either way, it's still a very good operator, and if you place the utility correctly, it can really assist you in holding back any of those attackers. And, give a bit of a nasty surprise and get some nice kills. And that's exactly what they need, especially also with the shield operators Nordy playing as the Blitz, being very, very dominant and very strong against the defenders of Entropy. Well, a good play, Griswold Mine could definitely stop him and give a nice opening to get a nice kill on him.
Yeah, the attackers of MG Minions, though, they decided to attack from a completely different vector than what they had last time. Going from Garage might catch out these defenders, and Alex Northy already in sight. Rise did do some damage on him, and he's just planting? Really? Yeah, you can't do that. You have no cover. You have no team assisting you. Alex Northy, I mean,
Yeah.
again, similarly to Clubhouse, just playing a bit faster than his team is is able to. They just cannot catch up to him. Leaves a 5v2 situation for the side of NG Minions, and it looks really tough. Especially even tougher now. 5v1 for David Speckham, but he did make his way around to the other side, but the side of
Oh,
Entropy do seem to be aware and
yeah.
cannot even get one kill. Flawless round, flawless defense coming out this time for the side of Entropy Gaming, finally winning that basement site.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what went on there in the mind of the side of minions to go for such an aggressive push and such a plan so exposed in the middle of the bomb site. Yes, there was a smoke canister, and yes, he did have a shield on his back. But I feel like minions is kind of feeling the situation here. You know, like they're up a map. They have a bit of room for error, a bit of room for playing around and taking risks. Sure, it's only like it was only a 1-1 score, so for this map, it's not they're not looking too good yet. But it also shows that they're quite confident on this map as well, that they can, well, afford to take such a risk and well, take a loss if needed. But yeah, a bit of an unnecessary one. It was definitely not needed. I mean, they could have played it out a lot better and would have potentially been able to win that round. But well, they will recover from the loss, of course, or at least attempt to. They're now going to a different bomb site, likely play a lot more seriously. I mean, sorry, yeah, Minions will need to attack a different bomb site and will likely play a lot more seriously and hopefully shows a bit of a more serious and successful offensive round this time around. And to be on a different bomb site, like I mentioned, one that we haven't seen yet before. Actually, we did, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
they
tripping.
played
Yeah,
it
it was the
round
very
one.
first one. Yeah, no, I'm tripping. Never mind.
Yeah, yet again, Ella coming out from the side of Rise, doing some adaptation, even though they won that first round. Sorry, again, on the Blitz, and we're seeing, I think, a very similar setup and a very similar attack that's going to happen from the side of MG Minions. And Entropy are going to be well prepared for it. It might be a bit of a mistake, but clearly the side of Entropy, or side of MG Minions, seem to think that this attack is worthwhile trying. Interlude below, trying to do some verts, but with his little pistol, it's going to be kind of hard to do. But anyway, that's going to be interesting to see if that's going to have any impact. As first breach coming out from Ace. I mean, not very contested. This breach inside, that's what's going to be contested, and the Twitchdown trying to clear out his bandit batteries, not successful at all, as the first pick does fall to the side of MG Minions. It's a good pick as Rise falls, but his utility is already down, so not very much loss in utility, but oh no, Bankus down below gets the pick, Interlude down, but he's going to need 1v1 Alex Nori, and that's basically impossible. Yeah, free kill for Alex Nori there. It's 3v4. 2v4 now, inside.
Yeah, 2 versus 4 situation, still half of the round remains, so loads of time here for the attacking side to work with. So first of all, they have the man advantage, double the amount of players alive compared to the defense, and they still have plenty of time. This technically should be a round for minions, but of course we shouldn't count out Entropy yet. 1 kill each will equalize the man count and will also waste a lot of time and can cause a bit of a standstill, so it's definitely still possible, but with those Echo drones still in play, well, they might be able to get the proper information, but as Jake then gets a kill onto Afla, it's all coming down to Shinji. The Echo player has his drones, but of course, in this situation, it's too risky to play on his drones. And, well, he gets found, he loses the gunfight. And that's a round here from Minions, putting the score back on an equal score of 2-2.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it was a better attack from MG Minions. I think it was a worse defense compared from Entropy Gaming, just giving away these picks when really MG Minions haven't done much on their attack. They really haven't opened that much breach. They opened one wall. And yeah, sure, they have a shield on their side. The shields can be a bit scary, but I mean, it's I'm not sure what happened there. You should expect this kind of vector of attack, especially because they played it last round as well, or the first round as well. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but Entropy running it back yet again. Gonna try this one more time and try to secure at least a 3-3 scoreline. for themselves. Though Lair as a map, usually we see it be quite balanced. I think in terms of attackers and defender wins.
Yeah, I'm just quickly pulling up the stats here for you for Wikipedia for ESA Cup Season 10. Well, in ESA, it's pretty defensive favorite actually. We are having a 41.5% for the offense versus 58.5% for the defense. So that's actually one of the more defensive favorite maps that we have in the competition, only being beaten by Consulate with a 60% defensive favorite, which is surprisingly even higher than Skyscraper, which only sits at 53. But yeah, this is the second most defensive favorite map in the competition. Of course, stats can be deceiving and don't count for the team, of course. But this, yeah, occasionally has been more defensive favorite than offensive favorites.
Yeah, but as we were speaking,
Oh no!
oh, that's the first pick. Caught like an interlude, not aware of Bandit playing below. But I was about to say, MG Minions did take this map control very fast. I mean, 30 seconds in, they were already in. They're already established, reaching the site, and Northy is already in
Oh,
with
he's
the
going for
shield.
plants.
That's a really tough spot to plant at. Oh,
Oh,
oh no, distracts the person covering him from that doorway, and that allows Alpha to swing and kill the planter. Huge plays coming out from the side of Entropy, and now it's a 5v2 situation, very tough to win, with Chayu and David being very isolated. David is coming through though, but too late as his teammate dies. It's a
wow.
basically flawless round. The trade at the end secures the win and a much better defense for Entropy Gaming. Even though MG Minions, I think they took that map control so fast that Entropy Gaming, I mean, they were expecting a meeting attack
Yeah.
yet again, but I mean, they still had time to turn around, set up, and were able to deflect this attack.
Yeah,
Very well done by them.
Yeah, like two comments I want to make after this. Well, first of all, Entropy already doing better officially than on their previous and their own metric, as they have already established 3 points compared to the 2 points they had on Consulate. But at the same time, it also really feels like Minions is taking so much risk, so much more risk than is needed. It's going really for aggressive pushes, aggressive, risky plans. Yes, of course, this last one was a lot better than the risky and quick plant that they attempted in the basement, of course, with the player on the rappel, on the cover, perfectly read into by Entropy with that run out, but and therefore disturbed. But there's just so much risk happening for Minions. So either Minions is overconfident and is just really confident that they will have a good chance once they go to the defense, and already is happy with the 2 points that they got on the board. But at the same time, I already feel like that if Minions potentially would just play a little bit more calm and well avoid those unnecessary risks, they could potentially already have one, maybe even 1 or 2 more offensive rounds and be in a much better position. But at the same time, of course, it's very welcome. I would love to see 3 maps at this point in the competition. We've only seen 2 free mappers so far in the playoffs, and I wish those were more. But yeah, well, for now, Minions not in the lead anymore. It's Entropy in the lead for the first time in quite a long time.
Yeah, and this time, a bit of a softer round for them. We saw last couple of rounds they had a lot of presence in exactly where Melusi is playing, but right now she's playing all alone there. She has the Vigil on the roam as well, but he's on the complete opposite side of the map. Afla is all alone here, no help from his team at all so far, so he has to be really careful not to get caught out by the attackers and just waste as much time as possible. And they know about bank use on the top floor as well. Individual not using his ability to evade the drones. Now he does use it, but still his presence is known. Afla falling back more and more, playing us very well, just wasting time. But the entry will come from Tim, coming up the blue stairs, and we might see one more as Interlude does seem to want to try and avenge his teammate, and he does. Actually, no, that was Jake.
Yeah, and with this now finding us as in the 4 versus 4 situation. Equal man count once again with 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock. So still decent amount of time here for the offense to do their job, to get closer to the bomb site and get in position to do some damage, potentially get some picks. But at the same time, the defenders are pretty close. They are pretty aggressive. They are really stretching themselves out and really making it difficult for the attackers to get proper counter control. After with a kill there onto Jake, brings us to a 4 versus 3 situation right now. Once again in the favor of Entropy. And actually, I think it looks pretty good for Entropy. They still have some proper control to hold with roamers to hold back the attackers as much as possible. They have a nice man advantage.
Oh,
Shinji
come
getting a kill
on.
on the interlude as well. And this is now a 4 versus 2 with only Shayo and David left standing for the side of minions. They only have 35 seconds remaining. They do have the fuse in hand. If they get a kill each, it will look a lot more favorable. And as David gets the first kill on the Shinji, it definitely looks possible, but then they need to make that move very quickly.
Yeah, and Entropy Gaming doing very well to give MG Minions a false sense of confidence that they've established on top floor as the round gets closed out with 2 lovely picks at the end there. Closing out, they have it a 4-2 lead for Entropy Gaming. But yeah, false sense of confidence for MG Minions. They were sure there were no roamers left. They wouldn't peek them. And what do Entropy Gaming do? They go for the roam and they peek them and they get these picks. And just the attack of MG Minions just causes a complete disarray. Very well done by the side of Entropy to guarantee a 4-2 split. But now they need to prove that they can not only defend this map but also attack as MG Minions go on the defense. And yeah, from Wikipedia, it is a defender sided map. It's quite defender sided, so it's definitely not over yet. MG Minions can still very well win 5 rounds and guarantee themselves a spot in the lower semifinals tomorrow against Team Sync.
Yeah. Yeah, right now, as you can see, it's a 4-2 split, the same split score that we had on the previous map of Clubhouse. Of course, now inverted, as it's now Entropy having the 4 points versus the 2 on Minions. Well, if things are inverted and continue to be inverted, then we might actually see an Entropy win for the second map, which would be very interesting. Like, they could still turn this into 7-2, just like Minions did with the previous map. But at the same time, well, Minions has picked this map for a very good reason. I think in general, teams pick a map more because of their defensive success rather than their offensive success chance. But then, yeah, of course, both matter and both is something they should be preparing for. But Minions now being on the defense here on their own map pick, I definitely expect that we will see some rounds from them as well. But only time will tell. Members of Entropy, meanwhile, making a way into the building, getting ready in position to find out some of those defenders. We can see an IQ being played, looking for bits of utility, and the Glass is actually one of the more interesting picks here. Because, of course, he can use the scope and the smoke canisters to have a nice advantage and spot at defenders who cannot see him. But he can see them.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight very good coming out from the side of MG Minions as the Bird's being played here. Oh, he loses the gunfight from the Bird. Very tough. But interlude, losing his life, and now they can the side of the attack of Entropy can play these Birds and allow him to get this breach open. Throwing down the smoke to allow the Glass this one-way sightline. I don't know if MG Minions are aware that Glass is even present on the board here as Afla is taken down from Vert somewhere. But MG Minions doing very well to not beat this Glass. Just wait for the attacking team to do something and try to go for the plant here. As yeah, drones being used, gather some information about the site where these defenders are. Very well done by MG Minions compared to by Entropy compared to MG Minions, who, I mean, no droning, just straight in, just try inside, try to go for the plant. Kaio is known in this little position. He's gonna be hard to clear out, but the fact that they know about his position is it's really a difficult spot to clear, but at the same time really powerful because yeah, this C4 throw can throw off the plant really easily.
Yeah, we'll see in a short moment, most likely. It's a 5 versus 4. Attackers are making their way into the building, or at least into the bomb site. Bankers with the kill there onto Jake. Davis Beckham also getting quite a bit of damage there with the glass moving in
There it
position. That's
is.
C4 finally coming out from onto Rise from Shayu, bringing a 4 versus 3 with the diffuser lost in the bomb site. With the wall being open, Termite is quickly and able to retrieve
Time.
the diffuser back into a safer position. But the time indeed is very low, just 10 seconds. So he needs to make his move now, go for a defuse or get the kills. It's a 3 versus 2. Two defenders need to be taken care of, or the defuse need to be planted. And slowly, so many attackers are losing their lives. The timer's running out. He doesn't secure the kill, and the round goes to the defensive side as the timer has run out. And this means that now the very first defensive round for the side of Minions will go to them and put the score on a 4-3.
And I said how Entropy was taking their time to drone. I think it's like a bit too much time because
Yeah.
that smoke completely logged them out of the site. They couldn't plant. They needed to go for kills, and when they went for kills, MG Minions able to win those gunfights because they just had more invitation positions. Well done by them. Well done to keep their composure and keep themselves alive inside and establish good positions there as they go on the downstairs side. I'm surprised neither of these teams have picked bunks as a side guess because I think bunks, I mean, in my humble opinion, is much stronger than basement. Yeah, it's interesting choice, but not up to me. These teams, they're the ones who are playing, and there's a reason why they're in the finals. Maybe they know something, something that I don't. But yet again, we see a heavy presence, heavy roam coming out from the side of the defenders here. They're gonna want to not give up this map control at the top here because, yeah, again, these birds, they can be deadly. But Entropy, by their pick, doesn't look like they're going for birds. I mean, they're going a full garage take, which yeah, MJ Minions might not be very prepared for. I don't think there's much util that they have on this side as they are already inside of the map.
Yeah, it really seems to come down to the gunfire and potentially the smoke and potentially maybe a bit of Goyo. But besides that, they do not have too much to really stop them. So it will really come down to most of the gunfights. And while we're having the classic observer bug here with the what is it, white noise effect from the drone being destroyed here, trying to resolve it so we can hopefully see something. And
Yay!
there we go. It's finally resolved. It's always a bit tricky, but there's ways to do it. Luckily. But yeah, we're still in the 5 versus 5.
Good
Well,
night.
as I'm saying that we're not, as Rankers get the kill there onto Jake, and now it's 5 versus 4 in the advantage of Entropy, which they can definitely use, of course, as they are the offensive team right now and are down on map points. But they could definitely use a bit of a positivity here and a good start here for this round. But they can hopefully get some more rounds on the board and bring us to the third map.
And we're over 45 on the clock already, forcing these defenders to pop these Goya canisters and use some of this utility that they have to hold off the attack just a little bit more. That will allow a lot of time for Entropy to prepare their execute, but they have a nuclear interlude at the top here, which might cause some trouble for them. And still, Shayu on the smoke. There we go. Drops down to side, which is going to give them a bit more stall utility. But still, minute 15 is quite a bit of time that attackers have to set up and execute, and they are in a really good spot as Alex Story goes down. Despite the situation, things are not looking too great for the side of MG Minions.
No, definitely not a 5 versus 2. 5 versus 1 make that as Shay also then falls. And it's all coming down to interlude. In a 5 versus 1, the diffuser is being planted. He needs to retake his own bomb site with his one-man army, or technically 2 if his other drone is still active. I believe it's not. Or like drone, his robots basically. But yeah, with the 5 versus 1, this is going to be very difficult. Timer of the diffuser has been planted. Timer is ticking against him. He's just holding a passive angle, but now he's trying to go for the gunfights, but doesn't actually. No, he does. He trades in the end, so there's at least a flawless round here. Denied, but still a round here for Entropy. Nonetheless, putting themselves on a 5-3 position. Well, Entropy hasn't looked this good so far this evening. This is so much better than Clubhouse. They have finally seemed to have woken up. Interestingly, on their opponent's map pick, and also understandably, as Minions is kind of struggling on their own map pick. Well, timeouts coming out for Minions to kind of discuss, like, hey, what's going wrong? Why are we not successful on our own map pick? This should be our moment to shine and to close down things even quicker than we did on Clubhouse. But, well, that's definitely not happening so far. and hopefully they can find a way to solve that. This was only the second defensive round. They won one, they lost one, so they're not particularly doing bad on the defense so far, but they're clearly hoping to do better than this.
Yeah, but the fact that they couldn't guarantee themselves a 3-3 half means that if they keep training these rounds, Shipyard are gonna win this map of regulation. They need to find something, find at least equalize that round count that then will allow them to go and potentially win. And I really like the timing of this timeout. Round 9, I think it was either Ace or Dez that said round 9 is one of the most crucial rounds of any match, especially on the scoreline. If you lose this round, Entropy are on a match point 6-3. If you win this, you're on a 5-4, and suddenly the game is a lot opens up a lot more. You're able to maybe mentally even just see, we're one round away from equalizing. We can still win this. We're still in this. So yeah, winning this round is very crucial, and get going doing a timeout here just guarantees that you can talk it out, get everyone on the same page, and try to get yourself in the best possible spot to try and win this.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see where this will be going. I can definitely see Minions get some more defensive rounds here on the board, but at the same time, Entropy is looking pretty promising. I mean, I wouldn't mind this map going to a 5-5 score, even overtime, and then still Entropy winning, and then bring us to a third map. It will be a lovely show. But let's just first see how the upcoming rounds will go, because these are going to be very, very important. Minions, of course, now going for another defensive round. This time, once again, a different bomb site, as they lost two in a row. No, they won one. They will no longer go to basement, as it didn't really go in their favor. But yeah, Entropy, of course, already having a bit of a taste of what to expect from Minions, how they will be defending, and hopefully having a bit of a proper chance to at least win some more rounds here for this 9th round.
Yeah. And as for defense, I'm actually see that they only have mute as a wall denial operator. Usually, I mean, the side wall, it's right there. It just goes into the outside, so usually you'd want something to counter it. But Jake being very brave with the shield in the cam when Bankus tried to throw the nade. Could have been a bit disastrous, but fortunately for him, ADSs of David did save him from disaster there, as the attackers are encountering a lot of difficulties here trying to navigate the utility that is present on this top floor. Window being popped from this angle as Interlude takes a bit of a more aggressive position, as yeah, the defending utility getting cleared. Charles being popped, but no damage exchanged just yet.
Yeah, defenders doing a good job on holding this top floor in their own control, as it's very, very valuable and important to them, as they can use it to just defend the bomb site from above and can fall back easily once things get too hot. At the same time, attackers are getting pretty close to the top floor. We also see some pressure here from the attackers, vertically already onto the bomb site itself. Interlude, however, with a double kill onto Alpha and Tim. This is huge for him. Alex with a kill onto Bankus, and suddenly the attack is falling apart here from Entropy. However, Rice does get a kill onto Xiaoyu, but then Rice does fall to the hands of Interludes, leaving Shinji all left standing. Yes, he has a diffuser in hand. He has side control, but they likely already know about his position. There was a bulletproof cam placed there as well. But yes, they know for sure. Spore being thrown, being popped, not yet, but in the end it does get popped. But it's Alex from above, using the verticality of the defense from above that they try to keep so dearly. Well, getting the kill from there, securing a defensive round here on the board from Minions, the second out of the 3 they played so far. Well, closing the gap a little bit more, still 1 round behind on their opponents. The 5-4 is looking a lot better than the 5-3.
Yeah, that time out working out wonders for the set of MG Minions, and they're going for an all to the top floor. The best side for defense, so this might very well get brought back to a 5-5. How it goes after that? Well, that's tough to predict. But yeah, it's important for MGBs not not soften their grip on trying to equalize this, because still they are in a position where eventually once even 1 round, it puts them on a match point, and yeah, I mean they still need to win 2 rounds, but that text at the top of your screen saying match point every round,
Yeah.
that's some more mental pressure on MG Minions' shoulders that they'd rather just not have. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty intimidating. It's just continuously reminding in how much trouble you are. Of course, Minions doesn't really have the first map on the board, winning Clubhouse. So at least there's still room for error for them. If it was averted, of course, the match point here for Minions, then Entropy would be in a whole lot more trouble. But for now, it's a 5-4. And, well, there's still a lot to be done. This upcoming round will be very, very important, because then we either will have a 5-5 or a 6-4. Members of Entropy, of course, here on the offense, are already using various bits of utility, well, to kind of weaken the defensive setup from the side of Minions. Also gathering lots of information, trying to figure out what kind of defensive setup the side of Minions has brought and where they can enter safely. And as we can now see, the first attackers are making their way into the building, but this utility is being prepared here and there to watch the flank or stop the flank from happening, or at least to make it more tricky. And also the first ace charges are coming out to open up some of the walls, some of those reinforced walls and defensive setup to get some new entry points and lines of sight. And as Tim is then the first one to get a kill down onto Jake, it's the man advantage for Entropy.
And Entropy, compared to how MGPs were taking their time, they're doing it a lot slower. And so far, it's not yielding much results for the 4 situation with Interlude downstairs gets the kill on Rise despite their very thorough joining. They missed Interlude downstairs. Gets the picks, a 3v4 situation. Not terrible, but not great either, especially with Alex Nordy on the Tubarao. But he's very low now. Still, there's Shinji on the Blitz. That can be the spearhead for the attack of Entropy Gaming, which can still bring them back. 1 minute left on the side. No, they know about David Speckham playing here just below this window. But while Shinji is distracted by him, the team is dying around him. Thank yous is the only one with an AR left standing.
Yeah, 2 versus 4 situation, 45 seconds on the clock. Not a great position here for the attackers to be in. However, there's 2 defenders being extremely low on HP. A single bit of damage. 3 defenders extremely low on HP. A single Ash charge could even take them out. But also, of course, bullets will easily kill them. With only David being higher on HP than the rest of his team. With 25 seconds, the attackers will now need to make a decision to quickly move into the bomb site, get for those kills, get the kills on the board, splitting up, Interlude getting killed off the bank as a team kill from David, and a double kill from Shinji. It's a 1 versus 1 with Alex being the only one left standing. There's only 56 on the board. Diffuser is going to be attempted here from Shinji, and the question is whether Alex knows. He seems to know he's going in, but he doesn't know where it is. Diffuser has been successfully planted, and with 40 seconds, Alex now needs to figure out where the Blitz is playing, take him out, and go for the defuse, because the defuse without the kill will be extremely, extremely difficult.
That's a really tough spot, 30 seconds left. Alex Northy, very, very low himself, but his DMR, it's a lot of damage. So Shinji is not playing it recklessly either. Baiting it out really, really well. That's a really tough spot, but no, wait, he gets the knife!
I need in time!
He has time to defuse as well. Alex Northy capitalizing Shinji. Oh, very, very tough. Using his flash just prematurely allowed Alex Northy to close that distance and get the knife kill. And their round count is equalized. That was nearly a disaster for MG Minions. They're in a 4v1, I think.
Yeah.
One around.
So. Yeah, this was a beautiful round, and now we're finding ourselves in a 5-5 scoreline. Man, I love 5-5 scorelines, because it means you're getting at least 2 more rounds, and those 2 rounds are going to be extremely decisive. Do those 2 rounds go to one team, then of course we have a winner. It's a 7-5 or 5-7 score. However, if these 2 teams win 1 round each, then we have overtime. And ONX, of course, it's an elimination match today. It's not regular overtime, it's unlimited overtime. Where, of course, in regular overtime, you need to win 2 rounds out of the 3 to win the match. So it could end in a 6-8, in an 8-6, or in a 7-8, or whatever. Of course, however, well, winning just 2 rounds isn't enough. You need to win 2 rounds with an advantage of 2 rounds. So once your opponent wins a round as well, well, it means you will have at least 2 more rounds to play. And that goes on and on till at least one team has an advantage of 2 rounds. So if this goes to the limited overtime, well, things are going to be extremely interesting, and we could be here for a very long time. And well, given how well close this match has been, or at least this map has been so far, I would not be surprised to actually see that happen. Because of course, these upcoming 2 rounds are going to be extremely decisive, either a winner or a which either that means that we will have a winner for this match, or that we will go to map 3 or unlimited overtime.
Yeah, those 3 possibilities definitely very exciting. But with the MG minions picking the worst site so far, 0 tiny wins here, but it's a really good start as Jake gets the first kill onto Bank. He's playing it really aggressively here, and just not allowing the attackers to take this map control for free. Really well done by him, but still, Tim is able to make his way into this warehouse position. But without Bankies, without on this, I think it's called Striker, could be a bit tougher. But Afla equalizes the scoreline, gets David off the board. His utility is already on the ground, so it's not that much of a loss from that side. But still, a gun down could be a bit tough. Jake still playing on his yellow stairs, not giving his position up at all. But Rise looking to take this 1v1 against him. They know about his position, and now he's trapped. He cannot rotate out. So he's playing his life here, trying to get a bit more damage onto a side. But Shea, I think he's looking to help out his teammate. And, oh, actually Rise allows him to rotate out. That might be a big mistake. Jake getting out with his life and wasting even more time. Minute 20 left on the clock.
Yeah, not much light time remaining. It's still full 4 versus 4 with just a little bit of damage here and there. And yeah, he goes upstairs. It's huge as he can easily flank opponents and waste a lot of time. If he makes his presence known, they will need to look for him, but they can also simply not ignore him. If they don't know about him, then he will have a very dangerous flank that could end disastrous for the side of Entropy. But at the same time, the last minute has approached, so Entropy needs to start focusing on their actual target, which is the bomb side, of course. Like the roamer, that's nice and things. It will be good if they take him out. They now know about his position because of that drone, but still, that's not their main target. And all the time that they waste on him or use on him, that's time wasted and less time for the actual target, which of course, like I said, is that bomb site. That makes things very tricky at the moment.
UC4 coming out, downing Apla. He is not out. He will be able to get picked up, but that does mean that he's very, very low. And Jake is still terrorizing the side of Entropy Gaming. They just cannot focus to take on this execute. And Goy canisters being popped, smoke canisters being deployed. It looks near unwinnable unless there's a miracle happen. Tim drops with diffuser. He's downed. Shinji gets a kill, but finally Jake gets another kill. Triple kill for him. And Rise all off 1v2, but no time left. He gets a couple of kills. Cannot win it. And the MG minions, despite being down at the beginning of this half, take us to a match point.
Yeah, Minions now finding themselves on map and match point, as they have already won the previous map and only need 1 more round on this second map of the evening, of course. But there's one little trick here. They need 1 more round, but they cannot afford to lose a single round, because once they lose a single round, it will be overtime, potentially a limited overtime as well. But then Entropy will at least have another chance to still be victorious. Entropy, however, of course, all pressure now on them, because they need to win this 1 round right now, right here, if they want to bring this map to 6-6 and still have a chance to win this map in overtime and still have a chance to win this match by going to the 3rd map, which they then need to win as well, of course. So very tricky situation for Entropy. Also, of course, a bit thrilling here for Minions. They really want to close it down and they don't want to slip it through their fingers. This is a very good position for them to, well, still win this match without going to a 3rd map or without going to overtime. But there's definitely more pressure on Entropy here. Entropy on the offense as well, not the most favorable side for a map like Lair, where also Minions, well, it's still on the defense here. They're going for bomb side they have played before. I'm trying to remember OMX how this bomb side went. Actually went pretty well. It was the defenders doing a very good job on holding to the top floor and keeping it in their favor, where the attackers then were kind of forced to go for the bomb site itself, and in the end ended up losing by getting killed from above. So yeah, Minions did very good on this bomb site the previous time. But Entropy at the same time, they got a taste. They know what's waiting for them. They know their weaknesses, and hopefully they can just do a bit better this time.
Yeah, and a quick note for those who don't know what limited overtime is. Limited overtime means that the team that wants to win the match needs to win by 2 rounds. Normally, if you go to overtime, it's a best of 3 in terms of rounds. First to 8, they win. But in limited overtime, well, it's unlimited. You can go, I mean, however long it needs to. But
Yeah.
with the first gunfight being out, Jake,
Whoa.
oh my god, what a shot! Gets Buck taken off the board. Does not give the position either. Very good start for the side of MG Minions, and Entropy might be in a bit of trouble now, but still have Blackbeard. Blackbeard could be a deciding factor here. Shields are really powerful, but as much as we talked about it, we haven't really seen much in terms of shield power being demonstrated yet.
Yeah, mostly from the side of Alex Nordy before when they were attacking, and also earlier that 1v1 situation where the Blitz perfectly baited the defuse. Or like try at least attempted to. But right now things are falling apart for Entropy. Two players already losing their life. A 3 versus 5 situation heavily in the favor of Minions. A very favorable position given their match point and series point. And the Chicky gets another kill on the bank because it's just no, it's not looking well for Entropy. Players leaving flawless rounds. And it's all over. A 5-7 score on the second map of the evening, which was previously we saw a 2-7 on Clubhouse, meaning that Minions win this matchup with a 0-2 score, eliminate Entropy Gaming, sends them home, and Minions themselves progressing to the lower bracket semifinals. Team Sync.
Excellent work, man. Aside of MG Minions closing it out, and I mean that last round, Jake, heroics from him, getting those 4 kills, just guaranteed his team the victory. And as much as we were hyping up the possibility of unlimited overtime, unfortunately, didn't happen. Still, very well done by MG Minions, and commiserations for Entropy. They made it quite far in this competition, but they just fall short when faced with yeah, when facing MG Minions. As MG Minions progress themselves to play against Team Sync tomorrow.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know if we have the bracket ready, but we can take a quick look here at the brackets. As you can see right now, Minions now versus Team Sync, the lower bracket semi-final, where then, of course, the winner of that match plays Team Ghost Army in the lower bracket finals, of which then the winner plays are already qualified for the grand final, Molotov Gang, which, of course, that is happening on the 1st of June. So still a total of 3 more matches to go, 2 more to the grand finals, 3 more to end the season. So there's still very beautiful match going up, and well, of course we'll see how things go. Tomorrow, like you already said, we should have the match of Minions versus Team Sync. There might be some rescheduling happening. We don't know entirely sure yet, but we'll see about that. But just keep an eye on our socials, of course. Right now, here Minions not filled yet, as well. Yeah, the match only happened today, but that's originally scheduled for tomorrow. But just keep an eye on the socials to see whether the match is happening tomorrow or not. But yeah, basically, Onex, that's it for today. First of all, I want to give a huge shout out here to ONX. Like we already pointed out earlier in the stream, where usually we have a production team of 4 people at least on the stream. Today there's only 2, and well, that's mostly thanks to ONX to make the stream happen. Because he's not just only casting, he's not just here sitting to do commentating. He's also observing and making the stream happen. So he's basically doing the job of 3 people all by himself. So a huge shout out to you, ONX, to actually make the stream happen. We were a bit of a dilemma. We had a bit of trouble to find the right amount of stuff, but in the end, we had this decision. Do we choose for ourselves, like, hey, this is too much for us to handle, or do we choose for our community, for our teams, and for the show? And well, in the end, we decided the show must go on. So that's what we did. So thank you, OMX, for making this happen. And I think we had a beautiful stream, a very good match as well. And I enjoyed casting along you.
Yeah, and we saw Layer, which we don't usually see, but yeah, so that was pretty cool to see. And yeah, I mean, no, said thank you for also stepping in. You weren't, you were also don't usually cast, but
yeah,
hey, here you are. So yeah, we made the show happen. So that was really nice. Thank you guys for watching, bearing with us, chatting, and me messing up my words. But yeah, I think it's gonna be the end for us today. We will go to relax. Max is gonna go probably cry, probably find some more people for tomorrow. And you, if you want, message him. You might save the day for tomorrow. So
we'll see,
keep an eye on our socials, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And if we don't, I think we'll see you on Monday for the lower bracket grand finals, and next Saturday I think is the grand finals.
Sunday, June 1st. June 1st. Already marketing your agenda. The grand finals happening on June 1st. That's not this Sunday, but the Sunday right after. at 2 p.m. Central European time. So mark it in the agenda because that's when we see the grand finals. MVG already waiting. Just one more team to go, and we'll see which one that is going to be. For now, everyone, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, and we'll see each other next time.